Good morning, students. Today we shall study the first lesson of science, that is chemical reactions and equations. The first thing that we shall study or discuss in this chapter is that what chemical reactions are. इससे पहले कि हम चैप्टर स्टार्ट करें, मैं आपको रिकॉल करवाना चाहूँगी कि आप अपनी प्रीवियस क्लासेस में ऑलरेडी पढ़ चुके हैं कि फिजिकल और केमिकल चेंजेस क्या होते हैं. यहाँ पर मैं कुछ मेंशन करना चाहूँगी एग्जांपल्स आपकी डेली लाइफ में जो आप एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं कुछ केमिकल चेंजेस को, जैसे रस्टिंग ऑफ आयरन आर्टिकल्स, चेंजिंग ऑफ मिल्क टू कर्ड, डाइजेशन ऑफ फूड एंड बर्निंग ऑफ पेपर. इन सभी एग्जाम्पल्स में आप एक कॉमन चीज ऑब्जर्व कर रहे होंगे कि इन सभी चेंजेस में एक न्यू सब्सटेंस फॉर्म हो रहा है. और अगर ये न्यू सब्सटेंस की हम बात करें तो ये जो न्यू सब्सटेंस फॉर्म हो रहा है ये एंटायरली डिफरेंट है. इसकी सभी प्रॉपर्टीज जो हैं ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट हैं फ्रॉम दो सब्सटेंसेस विच वर इनिशियली टेकन, जो हमने शुरुआत में लिए थे इस प्रोसेस या रिएक्शन को होने के लिए. तो यहीं से हम अपने केमिकल रिएक्शन की डेफिनेशन को डिराइव कर सकते हैं. चिल्ड्रन, यू कैन राइट डाउन द डेफिनेशन अलोंग विद मी दैट केमिकल रिएक्शन इज अ प्रोसेस in which one or more than one new substance is formed and it is irreversible. We have already discussed about the new substance. Now let us discuss about the second characteristic, that is, what do you mean by irreversible? The chemical reactions are the reactions which are irreversible. इसका मतलब है कि ये जो न्यू सब्सटेंस आपको केमिकल रिएक्शन में मिलता है, once this new substance has been formed, इसको हम दोबारा से किसी भी फिजिकल मेथड से उन सब्सटेंसेस में नहीं बदल सकते जिनके साथ हमने अपना केमिकल रिएक्शन शुरुआत किया था. Now the next question arises that how do you come to know that a chemical reaction is taking place around you? If any chemical reaction is taking place around you, it will always involve a change in state That means if you have started with, say, solids, then after a reaction it may change its state. Solid के बाद वो liquid या gas में बदल सकती है. Then next, change in color. Reaction के बाद color change हो सकता है. Next, change in temperature. रिएक्शन के साथ टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज या डिक्रीज हो सकता है. एंड एवोल्यूशन ऑफ गैस, कोई भी गैस इवॉल्व हो सकती है. अब कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स हम जो आपकी बुक में हैं एक्टिविटीज उनसे करते हैं. एक्टिविटी 1.1, 1.2 और 1.3 में कुछ आपके केमिकल रिएक्शन के एग्जाम्पल्स दे रखे हैं, वो मैं आपसे शेयर कर रही हूँ. एक्टिविटी 1.1 है मैग्नीशियम रिबन बर्न्स इन एयर टू फॉर्म मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड. ये एक एग्जाम्पल है केमिकल रिएक्शन में जिसमें मैग्नीशियम जो है इट इज अ सिल्वर कलर्ड मैग्नीशियम रिबन, इट बर्न्स इन एयर. एयर में जब ये बर्न करता है दैट मीन्स इट विल कंबाइन विद ऑक्सीजन टू फॉर्म मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड. और ये जो मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड है दिस फॉर्म्स ए वाइट कलर पाउडर. सो जैसे कि अभी हमने किया था कि जब भी कोई केमिकल रिएक्शन होता है तो इनमें से कोई भी एक या एक से ज्यादा भी जो है इन्वॉल्व हो सकती हैं. तो यहाँ पर आप देख रहे हो कि देयर इज अ चेंज इन कलर और साथ में ये जो फ्लेम है एक वाइट डेजलिंग फ्लेम फॉर्म करता है. नेक्स्ट इज एक्टिविटी 1.2. It involves reaction of two colorless solutions, lead nitrate and potassium iodide. When these two colorless solutions are added, they form a yellow colored precipitate. See, I am encircling this. इसको मैंने encircle कर दिया क्योंकि ये yellow colored, आपको याद रहेगा, ये येलो कलर्ड प्रेसिपिटेट फॉर्म करता है लेड आयोडाइड का. तो इसमें चेंज इन कलर आ गया. केमिकल रिएक्शन विच इन्वॉल्व्स अ चेंज इन कलर. इन एडिशन टू लेड आयोडाइड, पोटेशियम नाइट्रेट इज फॉर्म. देयर इज अनदर एग्जांपल, एक्टिविटी 1.3. दिस इन्वॉल्व्स रिएक्शन ऑफ जिंक ग्रेन्यूल्स विद dilute hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. This will result in the formation of zinc chloride with the evolution of hydrogen gas. Identify the reactions, chemical reactions by the evolution of hydrogen gas. इसके बाद हम डिस्कस करेंगे how to write a chemical equation and what is the need to write a chemical equation. अब इस एक्टिविटी को डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए हमने इतना बड़ा ये सेंटेंस लिखा है दैट मैग्नीशियम रिबन बर्न्स इन एयर टू फॉर्म मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड. द नीड टू राइट अ केमिकल इक्वेशन इज दैट इतने बड़े सेंटेंस को हम शॉर्ट फॉर्म में डिपिक्ट कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ ए केमिकल इक्वेशन. अब केमिकल इक्वेशन किस तरह से हम लिख सकते हैं, देखो मैं इसको लिखकर दिखा रही हूं. मैग्नीशियम प्लस ऑक्सीजन, फिर एक एरो हम शो करेंगे और फॉर्म क्या हो रहा है, मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड. तो इस रिप्रेजेंटेशन को हम केमिकल इक्वेशन बोलते हैं. इज इट क्लियर चिल्ड्रन? जितने भी सब्सटेंसेस रिएक्शन में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं उनको हम प्लस साइन के साथ लिख देते हैं. जैसे इस रिएक्शन में आप देख रहे हो मैग्नीशियम और ऑक्सीजन को हमने प्लस साइन के साथ लिख दिया और ये रिएक्ट करके हमने एरो साइन शो किया है. मैग्नीशियम प्लस ऑक्सीजन, दे गिव अस और दे कंबाइन टू गिव अस मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड. The next thing that you have to follow here children is that जो भी चीजें हम इस एरो की टेल की साइड लिखते हैं they are called as the reactants. These here like magnesium and oxygen, they are called as the reactants. या जो भी इक्वेशन की लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में है they are the reactants. और जो भी एरो के हेड की साइड पे होंगे, यू कैन सी द एरो हेड, दे आर कॉल्ड एज द प्रोडक्ट्स. यहां पर मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड, यहां पर सिर्फ एक ही प्रोडक्ट है तो यहां पर ये मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड हमारा प्रोडक्ट हो गया. और द राइट हैंड साइड दे आर कॉल्ड एज द प्रोडक्ट. वी कैन रिपीट दिस एक्टिविटी with the help of second example we had done. आप भी कर सकते हैं ये मेरे साथ. Here we have lead nitrate reacts with potassium iodide. तो इनके बीच में हम प्लस का साइन लगाएंगे बिकॉज मेरे पास जगह कम है तो मैं पोटेशियम को शॉर्ट फॉर्म में लिख रही हूं, पोटेशियम आयोडाइड. अब हम दे रिएक्ट टू गिव, एरो का साइन देंगे, लेड आयोडाइड एंड पोटेशियम. प्लस पोटेशियम नाइट्रेट. जो एरो की टेल की साइड, दीज आर दी रिएक्टेंट्स, और जो एरो की हेड की साइड, दीज आर दी products. So here lead nitrate and potassium iodide are the reactants, and lead iodide and potassium nitrate are the products of the chemical equation. Let us do one more example. Zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid. So we put a plus sign, hydrochloric acid, to form, so arrow, zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. Sorry children, I have used here a chemical equation and not word equation. Let me make you clear what is the difference between a word equation and a chemical equation. Here I was writing a word equation. This was a word equation. This was also a word equation. Can you see the difference? This is also a word equation and this is also a word equation. But when we use their formulas, lead nitrate, potassium iodide, when we write their formulas, जब हम इनके formulas use कर लेते हैं, chemical formulas which you were taught to write in class 9th, तब हम उसको chemical equation बोलते हैं. जैसे यहाँ पर मैंने zinc का symbol, हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड का फॉर्मूला, जिंक क्लोराइड का फॉर्मूला, तो ये हमने केमिकल इक्वेशन लिख दी. जब इसको हम ऐसे ही वर्ड्स में लिख देते हैं, देन दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ वर्ड इक्वेशन. दिस इज अ वर्ड इक्वेशन. एंड इसको फर्दर शॉर्ट करने के लिए इसके जब हम सिंबल्स और फॉर्मूला यूज करते हैं, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ chemical equation. Let us change this word equation into chemical equation. We use symbols of magnesium and oxygen and formula of magnesium oxide. Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. This is the chemical equation. We can more information to this chemical equation by using notations for the state of the use the notations I'm writing here. We can use notation S for solids, L for liquids, G for gas, and AQ for aqueous. By adding the state in which the substance is present, we can make our chemical equation more informative. Already written this equation in chemical equation form. We can make this equation more informative by adding the state of the substances. Zinc granules, that means they are present in their solid form, so we add S over here. Then dilute hydrochloric acid, that means it is present in its aqueous solution form, so we write AQ. Zinc chloride is also present in aqueous form, and hydrogen, as you all know, is gas, so you write G over here. The next part that we are going to discuss is the balancing of the equation. Balancing of the equation means to make the number of atoms of all the elements on the left hand side of the equation equal to the number of atoms of all the elements in the right hand side of the equation. The next question arises that why do we need to balance the equations? See here we have used this equation Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Here you can see that the number of magnesium atoms in the reactants is 1 and number of magnesium atoms in the products is also 1. But the number of oxygen atoms in reactants is 2. Here in the products is only 1. That means the number of oxygen atoms is not equal in reactants and products. Such an equation which is not balanced is called a skeletal equation. We have to balance such an equation. And why do we have to balance the equation? The reason is we have to see that they obey the law of conservation of mass. This also, children, you have studied in your class 9. This law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. जब भी कभी कोई केमिकल रिएक्शन होता है तो उसमें मास ना तो हम क्रिएट कर सकते हैं ना ही वो डिस्ट्रॉय होगा, सिर्फ एटम्स चेंज हो सकते हैं. तो इसको ओबे करने के लिए हमें बैलेंसिंग ऑफ इक्वेशन करनी पड़ती है. सो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज लेट अस चिल्ड्रन लर्न हाउ वी कैन बैलेंस द इक्वेशन. लेट अस टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ एन इक्वेशन. So here we have an equation. Iron reacts with water to form iron oxide plus hydrogen. Let us first revise what all we have learnt in this chapter. Here we have iron and water as the reactants in this equation. Iron oxide and hydrogen as the products. I am not writing their states because I will be needing space for balancing. So we can just revise hurriedly. Iron, you can write S over here for solid, H2O, L for liquid, Fe3O4, S over here, and H2 is gas, so you can write G over here. Now to begin with the balancing of equation, first step is you have to identify all the elements present in the equation. तो सबसे पहले हम elements identify करेंगे इस equation में जो आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं. अब इसमें जो हमें elements दिखाई दे रहे हैं, सबसे पहले वो है iron and you write down their symbols side by. Then is hydrogen, H, and the oxygen. Then next you have to count their number in the reactants and write on in this column. Number of iron in reactants is 1. Then hydrogen is 2 and oxygen is 1. Then your next step is to write the number of these elements in the products. Number of iron in the products is 3, hydrogen is 2 and oxygen is 4. Your next step is to make the boxes around each formula so that if you have to add any number, it should not be added inside these boxes but outside the boxes. In order to make the atoms equal on both the sides, that is the reactants and products, let us see the number of iron is 1 in the reactants and 3 in the products, that is it is not balanced. Hydrogen is 2 in the reactants and 2 in the products, that is it is already balanced. Oxygen is 1 in the reactants and 4 in the products, that is it is also not balanced. So let us start with iron. In order to balance iron, we have to make the number of atoms of iron 3 in the reactants as it is 3 in the products. So in order to make this 3, we have to multiply this with 3. So this 3 should be added here and it should not be written here, as I have told you that any number which has to be added should be outside the box. So we have 3 iron atoms in the reactants and 3 iron atoms in the products. Now let us make oxygen. We have oxygen 1 in the reactants and we have 4 atoms of oxygen in the products. In order to make balanced oxygen, we multiply this by 4 and write 4 over here. We have 4 oxygen in the reactants and 4 in the products. So oxygen is also balanced. But as children, you can see that while balancing oxygen, the hydrogen atom gets imbalanced. 4 into 2, it becomes 8 over here. We get 8 atoms of hydrogen. So hydrogen gets disturbed. So in order to balance hydrogen, we have to make 8 atoms of hydrogen in the products also. So you multiply this also by 4 and write 4 over here. This becomes 4 into 2 and 8 atom of hydrogen in the products also. Now let us see once again. We have 3 atoms of iron in the reactants and 3 atoms of iron in the products. So it is balanced. Next we have 4 twos are 8 atoms of hydrogen in the reactants and 4 twos are 8 atoms of hydrogen in the products. So this is also balanced. Next we have 4 atoms of oxygen in the reactants and 4 atoms of oxygen in the products. So this is also balanced. So this equation is balanced. The next topic is types of chemical reactions. The first type is combination reactions. The combination reactions is a type of reaction in which 2 or more than 2 reactants, they combine together to form a single product. The example you can see, like combustion of carbon. Carbon combines with oxygen to give a single product, carbon dioxide. The next example is that of decomposition reaction. It is just the opposite of combination reaction. Here children, you can see it is a reaction in which a single substance, it decomposes to give you 2 or more than 2 products. A single substance will split or it will break down to give you 2 or more than 2 substances. Further, we will discuss about the types of decomposition reactions. Decomposition reaction, depending upon the type of energy used for the decomposition of the reaction, it is divided into 3 types: thermal decomposition, electrolytic decomposition and photolytic decomposition. If the energy used for decomposition is heat, then the type of reaction is called as thermal decomposition reaction. Let us take an example. For example, we have calcium carbonate is decomposed to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide when it is heated. So it is an example of thermal decomposition reaction. Next, let us take the example of electrolytic decomposition. Here you can see children that water, it decomposes to give us hydrogen gas and oxygen gas when electric current is passed through it. This is called as electrolytic decomposition because here water decomposes into its constituent gases only on the passage of electric current through it. Next is the example of photolytic decomposition. Here you can see children that silver chloride, it decomposes to give us silver and chlorine only in the presence of sunlight. If silver chloride is kept in the presence of sunlight, This white color silver chloride, it decomposes into gray silver and chlorine gas. Children, there is a practical utility of this photolytic decomposition reaction, that this reaction is used in the black and white photography. The third type of reaction we are going to study is the displacement reaction. It is a reaction in which a more reactive element displaces less reactive element from its salt solution. You can see, for example, iron displaces copper from its salt solution of copper sulfate. Iron being more reactive from copper, it will displace copper. That means it will displace, ये copper को यहाँ से हटाकर it will form ferrous sulfate and copper will be separated. So iron is more reactive, hence it will displace copper. Copper यहाँ पर less reactive है, तो ये iron जो है copper sulfate में से copper को displace कर देगा and will result in formation of ferrous sulfate and copper will be left out. Then is the double displacement reaction. It is a reaction in which new compounds are formed by the mutual exchange of ions between two compounds. Here you can see they are present in the form of AB plus CD. They will mutually exchange their ions. This A will combine with D and B will combine with C. They will interchange their positions. You will understand it better with the help of example. Like we have sodium sulfate and barium chloride. They will react together to give, this sodium will combine with chlorine and sulfate ions will combine with barium. And we will get, in the products, we will get barium sulfate and, we will get sodium chloride and we will get barium sulfate. There will be interchange of the ions. This reaction is called as double displacement reaction. In addition to this reaction, here children, this barium sulfate forms a insoluble precipitate. This will form a insoluble precipitate in the sodium chloride solution. So this reaction is also called as a precipitation reaction. Next to it we have oxidation reactions. It is a reaction in which involves the addition of oxygen to a substance, or you can say it is the removal of hydrogen from a substance. For example, in this example you can see that copper, it combines with oxygen to give copper oxide. So because there is addition of oxygen to copper, here you can see that we are getting copper oxide. That means oxygen is added to copper. So we can say that copper is oxidized to copper oxide. Such a reaction in which there is addition of oxygen is called as oxidation reaction. The last type of reaction that we are going to discuss is the reduction reaction. It is a reaction in which involves addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen from a substance. The example you can see that copper oxide plus hydrogen gives copper plus water. In this example, you can see that copper oxide is reduced to copper. See children, you can see that copper oxide is reduced to copper because there is removal of oxygen. So you can write here reduction. It is reduced to copper because reduction is either addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. So here in this reaction, oxygen is removed from copper to give copper. So we can say that copper oxide is reduced to copper. But in this reaction, you can see that simultaneously hydrogen is gaining oxygen and is converted to H2O. So this reaction here can be considered as an oxidation process. What H2 is converted to H2O. That means it is gaining oxygen. Such an example where reduction as well as oxidation are taking place simultaneously is an example of redox reaction. Now let us discuss about corrosion. Whenever a metal is exposed to air, moisture, water or acid, and a layer of oxide is formed on it, which weakens or damages that metal. You all have seen the rusting of iron. I can show you the example. See children, you can see the reddish brown substance being formed here. I have kept the iron nails in water so that the formation of rust can be seen by you clearly. This reddish brown layer which is formed on the iron articles, this is due to corrosion. It damages the iron metal. Then you must have also seen the black coating on the silver articles. Here you can see the black coating on the silver articles is also an example of corrosion. And sometimes a green coating on copper articles is formed, that is also due to corrosion. Children, I'm sure you must have all enjoyed eating these mattis. But what happens if you keep them in open for 2-3 days? Yes, they taste bad. But why does it happen so? This is because the oil present in these, when exposed to air, gets oxidized. So in order to prevent the oxidation of the oil present in these mattis, it is always preferred to store them in the airtight containers like this, so that they are prevented from oxidation. And this process of prevention or the oxidation of oily foods is called as rancidity. See here children, they are stored in the airtight containers to prevent them from rancidity. So let us do the definition of what rancidity is. The oxidation of fats and oils when exposed to air is known as rancidity. It leads to bad smell and bad taste of food, and it is for this reason only that the chips which you eat are made so puffy. This is because they are filled with nitrogen gas. They are filled with nitrogen gas in order to prevent them from rancidity. That's all in this chapter. Thank you. Now is the time for a quick recap of the chapter. Children, I have come up with 2 activities on the chapter. You remember I had given you 3 examples of the chemical reaction in the beginning of the chapter. Now your task is to identify the type of reactions in these equations. The first equation you remember we did was magnesium ribbon. It burns in oxygen to gives us magnesium oxide. You have to identify the type of reaction. Yes, you are right that this is an example of a combination reaction. Why? Because here 2 reactants, that is magnesium and oxygen, are combining together to give a single product. The second equation was the example of zinc combines with hydrochloric acid to give zinc chloride with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Yes children, you are once again right that this is an example of a displacement reaction. This is displacement reaction where zinc, being more reactive than hydrogen, displaces hydrogen from hydrochloric acid and forms zinc chloride and liberates hydrogen gas. And the last example was that of the reaction between 2 clear solutions of lead nitrate and potassium iodide, resulting in the formation of lead iodide and potassium nitrate. Yes, your answer is once again right that this is an example of a double displacement reaction where there is exchange of ions between lead combines with iodine, lead iodide, and potassium nitrate. there is exchange of ions and we get lead iodide and potassium nitrate. So this is an example of double displacement reaction. Your next activity is, in your second activity, I have jumbled up the explanation for each type of reaction. Your task is to give correct explanation for each type of reaction. And your time starts now. I hope by now you must have completed your task. You can match your answers. The first reaction, that is combination reaction. The two reactants, they combine together to give a single product. Decomposition reaction, a single substance, it splits to give you two or more than two products. Displacement reaction is that reaction in which a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its salt solution. Double displacement reaction is a reaction in which there is mutual exchange of ions. There is a mutual exchange, you can see. This combines with this and this combines with this. Mutual exchange of ions between the compounds. Then the oxidation reaction in which there is addition of oxygen or there is removal of hydrogen. And last is the reduction reaction which involves addition of hydrogen or there is removal of oxygen. I hope you enjoyed doing these two activities, and by doing these two activities, your concepts on chemical reactions must have become clear. Thank you.